Feel at this point, brain training apps are everywhere. You know, those apps that consist of short word puzzles and memory games, which boast claims of things like improved memory, increased focus, and a sharper, i.e., a smarter mind. On the surface, these brain training apps are like jump roping, both healthy for you and fun with only a little bit of time taken out of your day. But what if I told you that these brain training app developers are essentially lying to their consumers, and the studies backing these apps are both flawed and discredited on many accounts? It's unclear, but I believe this myth that brain training games actually make you smarter sparked when a study was published by Dr. Suzanne M. Jaggi. Jaggi is a professor at the University of California, Irvine, go Anteaters, and specializes in cognitive sciences and neurobiology. In 2008, Jaggi reported her findings in an article called Improving Fluid Intelligence with Training on Working Memory. As defined by the article, fluid intelligence is the ability to reason and problem solve independently of previously acquired knowledge. This is considered one of the most important factors in learning and is closely related to professional and educational success. In her study, she presents findings that, if were correct, would make waves in the then and also current day perception of intelligence. For example, the Obesitarian Early Intervention Program showed years of training had to take place for even a gain of a few points of IQ. Jaggi reported 6 points of IQ gain in only a couple of hours. In this study, Jaggi and her team take two groups of young adults, a control group and a treatment group, and make the treatment group try to complete a task which involves monitoring both audio and visual images at the same time. She then gave both groups a similar task and documented results showing that the treatment group fared way better than the control group. Jaggi and her team asserted that this study was proof that short-term memory training can increase fluid intelligence. While the results of this study were correct, the conclusions made from it were a little far-fetched. This was simply an example of the brain's plasticity, which, according to Brain Facts, is defined as the ability of the brain to modify its neural connections to adapt to challenges in the environment. Your brain changes based on experience, so the treatment group in Jaggi's study wasn't necessarily getting smarter, they were just getting better at the game. There is no direct correlation to training your brain how to play a game better and increased memory or intelligence. While the study was later picked apart, discredited, and disproven several times, app developers took the theory and ran with it. These apps are now backed in decades of false studies, which, according to The Atlantic, are astonishingly poor in experimental design and violate many of the fundamental principles that are regularly taught to undergraduates in introductory courses. Luminosity, a famous brain training app, claims that their games are based on the science of neuroplasticity, but the Federal Trade Commission concluded that the research does not support the claims. The only solid evidence, well, I should say semi-solid evidence, to back Luminosity's claims are studies performed by the company themselves. But what makes these games so truly dangerous? One is their sheer popularity, with Luminosity having over 50 million annual subscribers and advertising on the nationally public radio, and with apps like Elevate being number 18 in the App Store for education. They have ridiculous claims like 2 times faster visual processing speed, 10 plus years in memory, more happy days, lower medical costs, reversal of age-related slowing, more self-confidence, and even improved attention in those who suffer from ADHD. These claims are founded in virtually nothing, and what's worse is these corporations are profiting heavily off their lies. In 2013, the brain training industry gained over $715 million, and now currently in 2021, this specific brain app industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The brain train game epidemic will not be stopped until word becomes more widespread that the information behind these statements are completely false. So do your part, inform a friend, and never get scammed in hopes of IQ gains again.